Hi everybody, my name is Kate and welcome to my channel, Trinergy Awakens Naturally. I am Trinergying and awakening naturally with the sounds of nature, Mother Nature, Father Nature. I'd prefer we didn't get gender about it. Let's go gender neutral. However, I'm out taking a walk and I felt very inspired because I just talked to a couple of children whose grandma brought them here to this trail that's close to where I live. I decided I would walk. I've been out on my skateboard, my longboard, and figuring out gravity and anti-gravity tactics to safely ride my skateboard. And I just talked to these children, and one of them is around 11 and the other one, I don't know, is around 6 or so. And if you can't get any closer to God frequency than children, then you just can't get there. Do you understand me? Do you hear me? That I was feeling super frustrated that I have had problematic interaction with some people in my former life that I had to let go, release and let it go. That you're toxic for me, you have to go, because if I'm toxic for you or you're toxic for me, then we have to release that frequency. It's not going to work. It doesn't matter whether I want it to or not, or whether you want it to or not. It doesn't work. If it's toxic for one of us, then it's busted for both of us. No matter how I feel about it personally, I have to go all astrally with that, and all spiritually, and all divinity, and all kinds of kooky sounding stuff perhaps. However, it happens to be the truth that I can't ask you to stay in a busted relationship with me whenever, somebody's always going to get served in a one-way. And if I'm not getting my needs met, or if you're not getting your needs met, and there's not that dialogue about how we're going to go forward doing that in a healthy, functional way, then it's not going to work. And why would I play? Then I'm just going to stand there and waste my time instead of coming out for a walk. Took my broken heart that, I've had to walk away and say goodbye and been betrayed and blah, 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 blah. Tons of lie, blah, blah, blah. I mean, there's a story all day long. I don't know a single person that doesn't have one. And I don't want to get stuck in my story so long that I'm not going to enjoy children. That I just enjoyed probably 10 minutes worth of conversation with these children. One of them's a NASA nerd. The boy, he's a total NASA nerd, which sang to me immediately. And the little girl, she's just as cute as she can be with her frozen helmet and stuff. They're on scooters and hover something or other, I don't know, stuff that moves around. And they do BMX and they do all this other stuff. That I have a trike, man. The first time I took my trike out on the road, I fell off, for all of the major roadway to see whenever I went butt up. The first time I rode it. That was my divinity, was hello, how about everybody see how embarrassing this is for me? And I can't let that stop me. I can't let the fear of what others might think or whatever. And these little children, if I hadn't come out, because I was feeling pretty low, like have had some pretty harsh comms with, got some cars going by. I've had some pretty harsh communication with people that are very close to me, that I love very dearly, and I have to let you go, dude. When you are toxic to me, it doesn't matter how much I love you. If I truly love you as unconditionally as I say I do, then I have to let go of you. If we are in a toxic relationship that's not going to serve both of us, that means that it's a one-sided thing. That equation is going to end up at some point blowing up in our face, one or the other, and it's going to continue to exchange that way in a very weird blowing up experience everywhere that it does. And now I'm crossing over the street, making sure I don't get run over on the way. That is going to continue to blow up, and when it does, why would I continue to enter into that contract, that agreement, those soul contract ideas? You can rip those suckers right up and say, nope, I'm going to change the math immediately. That if your teacher is telling you, the universe is saying 2 + 2 is 4, and you keep coming back with an answer that says 2 + 2 equals something besides 4, then it's exploding. Hurt feelings, anger, rage, etc. That's your first indication of, I might need some remedial education on that. But how many times am I going to go back? And if I'm trying to sit and teach a class of students who are in remedial education, or if I'm going to be a student in a remedial education class and I got others around me who really don't want to learn the lesson, they just want to be class clowns and fools. I don't want to do that. Do I? Not when I can be outside on a path talking to children who, God frequency, God equation, divinity, whatever you call that, sacred. These children they're holding the door wide open and saying, hey, yo, come on in. And I have a little boy, 11 years old, probably doesn't talk to adults too much outside of his family. I don't know. But he was quick to tell me about his interest in NASA and SpaceX. What 11-year-old knows about SpaceX? I mean, seriously. And the little girl was into Frozen, the movie Frozen. I only saw it the one time in the theater. My kids were quite grown, kind of pretty much for the most part, when that movie came out, and I don't really remember too much about it. But I was talking to her, when you engage people and you ask them about themselves and say, please tell me about you. Little children, that's a great place to start. Adults, that can be problematic, because when there's an ego involved, or there's a narcissistic personality involved, that you better ask about me, you better ask how I'm doing, blah, 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 then that's going to be some busted math right from the beginning. And these children, they were engaging. They were exchanging conversation with me in a way that was healthy and functional. And they were enjoying time with their grandma, which I thought was really cool. That this is a family dynamic that I personally don't have and never did. That, the family I came from, it wasn't like that. There wasn't a grandma that was a lot of fun to be around. She was somebody I, was escaping from one place to go to the next place, and she was the least offensive for that weekend kind of thing. And, we all have that story somewhere in us, whatever it is. It doesn't matter whether it's, as tragic or not. It doesn't matter. We all have heart hurt. And when we're trying to define, well, mine's worse than yours and I shouldn't have, it doesn't matter. Everybody's experienced loss, everybody's experienced abandonment, everybody's experienced fear, everybody has experienced hurt and pain of some kind. And PTSD doesn't matter. If my PTSD, if I tell you that it's bigger than yours and it's more important than yours and it's, it's more significant, how diminishing of the is that? It is diminishing as bloop for me to tell you that my PTSD is more important than yours, and therefore I get to be a tyrant and a jerk and a butthole about it because I've been stolen from, I've been, robbed and thieved. Okay, well, those little children back there reminded me that I don't know what their history is. I didn't ask them, hey, what's your PTSD? They seem like pretty well-balanced children that are talking about SpaceX and Frozen and riding outside with your grandma, sitting there and allowing them. And I did ask, permission, may I speak to your grandchildren? Is that okay? Because quite frankly, I'd rather speak to the grandchildren usually than the grandparents. The grandparents are often a little bit too stuffy. And I'm too autistic and too needing fresh ideas. And please, oh, good God, don't ask me to slow down to understand what you meant by hopping out of the box. Think outside the box. What box are you referring to, man? You're boring. So I really thoroughly enjoyed getting to know those children for the 10 minutes I was there and finding out that, yeah, there's less noxious air. It's everywhere that I want to be breathing it in. Then that's where I want to be breathing it in, and not that other stuff, friend, that other stuff. Be you. Thank you anyway. So I'm going to leave it at that and say thank you to divinity, and I hope that you're well. Please be divine within your skin. Find it within, because you're divine, baby. It's absolutely fine. I'll see you again next time. Bye.